Hello everyone, welcome to Code to Data Academy. And today I would like to tell you about printing function and formatting. So let's start the lesson. I will create a new Jupyter file, Command S, so you can give it a name. Print and format. Okay, now I think you know what printing does, right? Because even in our channel, I've showed you multiple times how to use that print function. So I will open a markdown cell and write print. Let's write like this. Let's write the original one. Because as you know, Python is case-sensitive programming language, so you have to write it like print. Okay, so as you know, we use print function to get the output written on the screen. For example, print 3, the result is 3. Print 4.5, the result is 4.5. And print, for example, hello, the result is hello. So, as you can see, with the help of print, we can see the output written on the screen. Some people actually cannot understand the purpose of print at first because they think that, okay, even if I write just 3 without print, I will see that 3 on the screen. Or if I just write hello without any print, still I will see that hello on the screen. So what is the merit of print then? Guys, actually the main purpose of using print in code pieces is the accessibility. So if you write print 3, then doesn't matter where you insert this print function, doesn't matter which file you insert this function. Whenever you run that file, run that code, it will work. So guys, in the long run, we will not just work on these, let's say, small code sections. It's not that easy. In the future, we will have to work on coding files, like long files. And whenever someone comes and runs that file, it must work. And if you write just 3 in that file, whenever that person tries to run it, it will not work. You will not see the output on the screen. Plus, it will give you an error. Because 3 itself is nothing, right? So whenever you write it separately, you can see the result on the screen. But whenever you insert it into a code piece, for example, you write something, write in a code, and then you write 3, then continue, then it will be an error because 3 itself is nothing. Let's imagine these as codes, and 3 itself is nothing, okay? You have to print 3, not 3 itself. So this is the case. I wanted to kind of clarify it. So I hope you could understand the difference between these and these, okay? Print is simply this. It helps us see the output on the screen, written on the screen. Okay, guys, now I would like to tell you about some specific details of printing function. First of all, I would like to ask you a question. How do you think we can print more than one values on the screen? For example, print, I would like to say print Jane is 18, right? And you know that 18 is an integer and Jane is part is a string. So you can simply write like this. I know, Jane is 18. That's simple. But what if someone comes up and says, I would like to write it like this. Print Jane is and 18. Do you think it's correct? As you can see, we have a curly red line there, so it's not correct, okay? So you have to use a comma between the values. If you want to print more than one values, then you have to use a comma between them. Okay, Jane is 18. This is the case. Or write like this. For example, print 3, 4, 5. The result is 3, 4, 5. Or print hello, comma, world. The result is hello world. You can either combine them and write them within one single quotation mark, or you can separate them, okay? This is the case. And now I would like to draw your attention to one point. As you can see, by default, Python separates the values when printing. So I just wrote 3, 4, 5, and the result is not 345. The result is 3 space 4 space and 5. So Python by default separates the values when printing. But we can control it. For example, I want to write a date. I want to print a date. Print, I say, okay, I would like to see 301 10 2007. Okay, I can write it like manually. I put the periods manually. But what if I want to write something different? Like I want to write the same thing but in a different manner. Let's write print. You can write 1, 10, 2007, and sep. Sep is a parameter that we will use inside print function. It stands for separator, as you may guess. So by default space. This is why Python itself puts a space between the values when printing if you do not assign something different to this parameter. But if I write, for example, /, the result will be this. If I write a period, the result will be this. Okay, so let's consider abbreviations. For example, I would like to write print UN. I simply write U, N, sep, and I write dot. It means separate the values by a dot. The result is this. And I hope you understood it. I would like to introduce one more point. Print, let's write a star and UN. So what do you think the result will be like? The result will be like this, U and N. So this operator, the small star operator, separates the string into characters and then sends every single character into print function separately. So first it separates the whole string into U and N, and then first sends U to print, so you can see U on the screen, and then it sends N to print, so you can see N on the screen. So there's no difference between these two and this. I mean, UN is such a short string, but if you want to write something longer, then of course it's better to write like this rather than just separating them, putting a comma between them, using lots of quotation marks and etc. Okay, I hope you understood it. Let's write Python. It's like this, very simple. And now we can still use the separator. Sep equals dot, like this, or sep equals / or backslash. I think backslash is a problem, right? Yes, backslash is a problem because it kind of collapses with the strings there, with the characters there. Okay, let's write anything else, whatever you want. For example, this one, doesn't matter, okay? So I hope you understood it. And now let's talk about one more point, which is about strings. I will introduce two more things, \n and \t. Let's talk about them. I will create another markdown cell and write \n, \t. They are very important. You will use them a lot, believe me. Okay, now I write print Jane, and in a new line I will write print John. With the code, you will see Jane and John in two different lines because I have written them, I have printed them in two different lines in the code block. But I can do it much more easily. Watch, print Jane \n, it stands for new line, \n John. Let's see the result. Jane and John in two different lines. And we can continue like this. \n Scott, for example. Or \n, I don't know, let's say Jeffrey. You can continue as long as you want. So it's really, really simple. Rather than printing everything in different lines, you can just write them within one single quotation mark by this \n operator. And let's talk about \t. \t is not that popular, to be honest, because \n is much more useful and needed, but still it's better that you know it. Print, for example, Jane space. So you write John, the result will be like this, but it's simpler to write like this. Print Jane \t John. Let's see the result. The same thing, because \t actually it differs. You can change the length of that tab. You can set whatever you want, but still by default it usually equals to 4 space pushes. So \t kind of roughly equals to 1, 1, 1, 1, 4 spaces, okay? This doesn't matter, but you can change it in settings, I guess. So that's it. For example, 2 \t is then and 8 spaces, 8 pushes on space button. That's it.